Are you ready to be the best that you can be? Join hybrid business coach and consultant Charity Brown and her guest as they give you behind-the-scenes access to the insider tips and tricks that will help you take your business to the next level. Charity has an extraordinary approach to boosting businesses to break out of their modes, influence their industries, and become leaders of their packs. And she's ready to pass this inspiring knowledge on to you today. Learn how to change your game and build your business into what you've always dreamed of, right here on the Create Clarity with Charity podcast.
Hello, and welcome to Create Clarity with Charity. Today, I have an amazing guest, Kat Ramirez, who owns Advertise.com. She helps people streamline their marketing, automations, follow-up campaigns, and all the good stuff we all need to keep connected with our clients. Welcome, Kat.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Thank you. I'm so excited that you're here, and I know my audience is going to love you because you represent a lot of us that were like trapped in the corporate gauntlet, you know, doing our passion, but not feeling completely fulfilled and obviously hitting that glass ceiling. So that's why I wanted to bring you on, because it's so important, because, you know, you're such a well-renowned now marketing advertised business where you really have taken your passion and everything you dreamed of when you were in corporate and put it into action. So we want to hear about your story. We want to hear about how it all started. How did that fire and that passion and that drive, you know, give you enough courage to jump the corporate ship?
Yep. So I always tell people that, and I know a lot of people can relate to this, I haphazardly became an entrepreneur. I love telling the story because if I had to look back, you know, like 10 years or 20 years beyond the time I started my entrepreneur role, and somebody would have asked me, hey, Kat, do you see yourself as an entrepreneur? I would have said, no, absolutely not, you know? And so it's a byproduct of what the corporate world dynamics were, right? I hit a glass ceiling. I felt like I gave to the corporate environment and drank the Kool-Aid. And then when the opportunity for my next growth, you know, was coming about, it wasn't going to happen. It just, the writing was on the wall. Mm-hmm. So I came up with a plan. I told myself nobody was ever going to control my own destiny. I was going to control my dreams, my visions, my beliefs, and I was going to create this path. And I set out to create, advertise. And I remember the day I did it. It was July 4th, you know, July 4th, 2014. I created Advertise, and it was like a day of, you know, celebration, a day of discovery, and just, you know, everything July 4th represents, right?
Independence. Yes. Yes. A freedom, right? You're like, claim your freedom now. And that is a good day to celebrate. Now, when you're lighting off those fireworks, it can be for you taking that, you know, control back of your life. Because I know a lot of us, I mean, you work with some big, you know, big corporate media companies, CBS, ABC, NBC, you know, the big dogs. So you knew that you had a skill that was really valuable to business owners. And so once you kind of learn how to ride that PR bike and you know how to like connect with all those people, it became a very valuable skill. And so, you know, I know a lot of my audience members out there might be on their corporate lunch right now thinking like, yeah, exactly. I know I could do this and make 3-10 times more than I do right now. And that corporate ceiling disappears. Right. So, you know, with that fuel, you know, that fire driving you on your first year, let's talk about your first year in business, because a lot of people give up because, you know, it's not all glorified and easy, but you were kind of smart about it. You decided to start your business when you're still in corporate, right?
Right. So what I did was once I made the decision to create my own path, I set goals, right? I set goals because I said 1 year from today, I'm going to quit my job. And I set myself for an attainable goal, right? I set it up. Mm-hmm. And then I made some small goals, right? Some milestones along the way. And the whole process through it was, when a year from that day, I wanted to be able to hit the ground running, right? I want to hit the ground running. And so, you know, the day that I quit my job, and then the next day, that was my opportunity to just start my own, right? My that journey, that path, all fresh and new, but ready to go. And that was the whole point of it, is to plan, and I didn't overthink quitting. I think a lot of people overthink, like, I can't do it, maybe another year, maybe another 6 months. I did not do that. Once I made my decision, that was it.
Well, that's good, because a lot of us would like teeter totter on the fear factor. Right. Oh, the corporate salary, oh, the 401k, oh, it's all cozy and you can guarantee your money. So it's a definitely roll of the dice. And that's when the winners versus the losers, because if you choose you, like anything, dog eat dog world, right? You're going to want to just like do what's going to make you happy when you've fed up and you've had enough. Because I know that fed up feeling. I know how, like, how you can just digress, back into a state of just complacentness. And so, so you battled the fear factor, you pushed through it, it fueled you instead of defeated you, which is awesome. So, and that was 2014, right? When you started, and you did have some mentors and coaches and some people that kind of helped guide you, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because the thing I did was, as soon as I made that decision, I started to surround myself around other entrepreneurs, other startups. So I wanted to get that vibe. I wanted to get that humming feeling. And, there's nothing more cool than hanging out with other entrepreneurs and solopreneurs and people who really believe in following a dream, going after a vision, things like that. And so I think the common thread with all of them is they are all risk takers, right? Risk takers. And they all put their neck on the limb, because they're giving up that corporate salary or whatever it is. And then a lot of times it's people with families, people, but they have a support system, they all have a support system.
Yeah. And that's so true. I mean, the lack of support can really demotivate people as well, when you feel like you're kind of, in it alone. But I know a lot of entrepreneurs feel like that anyway, that they're unsupported and they don't have enough support. So it's so key to reach out to mentors and people who have done it better than them, or are more successful, have done it right, already went through the failures, already had the stumbling blocks, so they can help guide you, through that rigorous task of starting a business, right? So yes. And so you took the right steps, because you got in with the people that were already, making 6 figures or more, and had a proven process, or had, that key advice, or those books and tips and tricks. So I think that people really underestimate the power of mentorship and coaching. And they kind of feel like they are like on an island by themselves, kind of in their own creative,
Oh yeah.
So I think it's great that, you had a couple mentors that were like super special to you, that you have some words of advice that kind of kept you going during those first years?
Oh yeah. I mean, there's one mentor that I still follow, and I still talk to him every so often. And he started probably 4 or 5 years before I did. And his was a grocer key. And it's funny, this past year, they just sold their company for like, oh my God, I want to say, let me just be hypothetical. Let's say $20 million. Okay. Wow. He just sold it. And I was so thrilled for him, because I knew him when he was in infancy, right? When he was doing it and believing in it, pushing it, and creating it. And it's so great to be surrounded by people like that, you get inspired by, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's kind of my motto too, Tony Robbins, Ty Lopez, Lisa Nichols, Oprah. I mean, all those, encouraging mentors, they have such valuable information, and it really does help kind of fuel the fire. So with that, you were also creating like, the ultimate vision, right? Like you said, you were making goals, you were doing like, 1 win a day, you had benchmarks, and you created a dream board. Tell us about that and how that manifested for you.
Oh yeah. So, a lot of the workshops and entrepreneur type of, what is it, like boot camps and stuff that I participating in. And then I participated in as many as I could, because again, knowledge is power. And the more that you can feed off of it and learn and apply it to your business, the better. And the big takeaway was a vision board, for sure, was to visualize, where did you see your company? Where do you want to be? And harbor it, put pictures, hold it against your wall, put it on your desktop. And I did my vision board and I put it on every electronic device I had. So as soon as I logged in, it reminded me of what do I want to obtain? What do I want to be at? Where do I want to go? Right. And so it was very clear to me every day when I logged in.
Yeah, I love that. We do that in some of my programs, but we use Pinterest now. But I mean, you can also use magazines, but you can make your own board. And it's like, once you really see like, oh, that's the equipment I want. That's the location I want. That's the office I want. That's how I want to look. That's, it all starts, coupling together. And it's like, then the universe conspires for us and puts everything in alignment. So, and that's with action though, right? Because you were saying that you literally had to like work every day at getting a little closer while you're in your 9 to 5, that you were still building your business. So that first year you had a solid foundation. So that's really key. So I love that you're so organized and that you really, took time to like plan it out, because that's usually when things start working out instead of just like jumping in feet first, but that works too sometimes. So,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about advertise, because, you really have a special knack of like creating, polished branding and getting people noticed. I mean, you worked with the PR firms for years. You did big PR. So, the leverage you can get off of being seen online and being in front of an audience. And so here's your site, adbitise.com, adbidtise.com. And it, it has a great makeup of all kinds of opportunities. And it's not $5,000 a month, which is amazing, because a lot of big ad firms are like, we need a 5K retainer deposit. So let's talk about everything that you do here and, why you are the authority in the marketplace.
Yep. So, when I was in major media, ABC, NBC, CBS, Telemundo, the biggest thing that I came across was that small businesses, and again, small businesses make up like 100 employees or less, right? So small businesses were really left off. So they felt like, okay, when they came to inquire about TV advertising, then, our big push was to, sell them a package and it's one and done, right? No relationship, no planning, things like that. And I saw a really huge opportunity to really leverage and help businesses, small solopreneur, entrepreneur, startups, whatever, really have some advocacy, to have some education, to have somebody really just rooting for them on their side. And so what I did was I created a transparency, and basically, again, like you said, Charity, I'm not charging retainers. What I'm trying to do is make advertising and marketing sustainable so that companies can do it consistently, because consistency is the name of the game. And so all the programs that we recommend or we put together or that we're experts in, everything that we recommend is things that we do for ourselves. So I'm grassroots. I grew my business with social media, total grassroots, complete social media. So we become an expert in social media. Am I going to recommend it to my clients? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And we also did Facebook ads. So with the appropriate or right client, am I going to recommend it? Yeah. Not to everybody, but to the people that are appropriate. And then lead generation, right? Lead generation is a big deal for some clients, because they don't understand that marketing sometimes is not a lead gen program. So you've got to really put some time and money into a lead generation program that's going to deliver a return of appointments, of people inquiring, right? So big difference. And I think that's the biggest thing, is teaching people that there is a big difference,
Yeah, it's so true. I mean, because you can make a post all day, but if you're not engaging on that post, then you're not going to get the leads. So it's kind of like the engine the fuel, to the engine once you start doing the lead gen. And that's really the whole point. And I know a lot of newbies, they might be disappointed that they spend all this money on, different content, and they post it on their Facebook and they're not getting any leads because, it's very strategic and psychological. So, I've worked with your team, so that's awesome. So I kind of have an insider view, and I really enjoy. You have an awesome team of professionals, and the Zoom meetings are easy, and they really spend time to customize each campaign, which is awesome. And if you don't have all the resources, then you guys have the resources to create them for us, which is really awesome. So I know working with a team can be daunting, and like on your way to success, you had like 3-4 good years of growth, and you started growing your offices, and you had a team of 15, and everything was rocking and rolling. You had like 3 or 4 locations, and then COVID hit, and you're just like, oh my gosh, all my clients are closed. Okay, what do we do? Right. So that resilience factor of being able to kind of rebound and re-engineer your business is quite the feat. And I know a lot of people out there would love to hear how you did that, because they may still be in that same boat, being that we're still kind of in the pandemic, and that we're all trying to re-engineer our lives to fit this new market space. So tell us about like some of the things that like you overcame and your wins during that time, and then how you implemented that in these new marketing strategies for your new business clients.
Yeah. So this is a really great topic, because it's being fluid, right? You have to be fluid, and you have to listen to your clients. You got to listen to the environment. And the thing that was happening with COVID is, most of my business pre-COVID was brick and mortar, and those brick and mortars closed, right? They had to close their shop, and they closed for, here in our area over almost 2 years, a year and a half. And so those companies didn't need traffic drivers. They didn't need anything. And a lot of them didn't have a plan B, which is unfortunate. They did not have a plan B of how do I make money while I'm closed. And so you really learn by observation. And we were very, very fortunate in that we just launched a program prior to COVID that was our $99 hashtag social buzz, the social media management. It's just a drill down a la carte version. And that was launched in August of 2019. COVID hit. And then all of a sudden, people were coming out of the woodworks and inquiring about the hashtag social buzz. They were like, I need a digital presence. I need my business to stand out because nobody is driving around. Nobody's calling us, and we need a digital presence. And so it was a really affordable way, right, to be out in a digital space every day, all the time, reminding people who you are, what you do, and how to get a hold of you. And so that product, that program really, really took off. And then as people were not able to network, right, they weren't able to go and connect and network, we then launched the LinkedIn for Your Business, which is a hyper LinkedIn program where it's lead generation. We were working their LinkedIn accounts to grow their network and to start developing leads for them. And it was basically, I can train you how to do and work your LinkedIn account, or I can go in and work it for you. It's a done for you, 100% done for you at an affordable rate, right? And so that was the product that we launched during COVID that took off as well. And so I feel so great that I was able to help people, but it also saved my ass. It saved my ass.
It is. It's those media assets, man. They're so important these days to business. I mean, everything's virtual. So it's like a gold mine out there. If you find that specific niche, and you just can blow it up. So I really like your strategy because it is very affordable. It's almost impossible to say no to your prices. With the value, and that it's not, for an outsourced company that's just offering everything to Fiverr, and then you have like 5 different people in your account, and everything's spelled wrong, and they don't really know, the culture barriers and things, or so it's like really grassrootsy. And I like that because there's real people behind the campaigns. There's real people writing the content and developing it. So it's a steal of a deal, let me tell you guys. So Everybody will know at one point if they have a business now and they're not on social media, they are missing out on a huge amount of revenue. So, the industries that you help, I mean, they're so vast. It looks like you have like pretty much nailed every niche. You have clients all the way from accounting to landscaping, to fitness, to attorneys, to house cleaning, to restaurants. So like nobody isn't qualified here. If you have a viable business and you have a web presence. Do you guys do web design too?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you don't have a web presence, or maybe it's stale and you just don't like it and you feel like you need an upgrade, Kat's the one. Her team will just like get with you. And there is this free market audit report here that you can subscribe to that will drive you directly to her and her team. Tell them what your pain points are and, fill out the info and get your sample report, and you can get on a call with an expert like ASAP. Yeah. So let's talk about like what you could tell yourself now that we've done your pitch and how amazing all your products are. It's kind of a no-brainer, you guys. If you need marketing, it's right there. It's turnkey. They have their what is it, the framework all dialed in. So it's like, painless.
Right.
It's good. So if you could go back and tell yourself something now that now, then what would be your best advice?
And I have this conversation all the time with people that it's super hard work. It is super, super hard work. I'm a workaholic, an absolute workaholic. When I was in corporate America, I was very, very successful because I was a workaholic, and corporate America loved that. They just, sucked that dry out of me. Mm-hmm. And going into being an entrepreneur, solopreneur, startup, I worked more in the beginning than I ever worked in corporate America. But the cool thing is it was for me, right? It was for me. It was building my brand, building my business. Whereas with corporate America, you're just, spinning those wheels. And a lot of times you're missing out on family and quality time and work-life balance and what have you. And it's almost expected, right? It's expected. And that feels way different than when you do it for yourself. When you do it for yourself, it just comes with it just comes with so much reward. So, going back, if I had to talk to me as a younger version, I would let myself know, get ready, because this is going to be, it's going to be a hard ride. It's going to be bumpy, but you got to be able to bounce back. You got to be able to stand up, and you got to be able to fight.
Yeah, it's war, really. I mean, it's sometimes like you're standing on the front lines, and there's just like all this coming at you, all the liability, responsibility, the follow through. And then to not ever give ourselves enough credit for that, looking in the mirror and being like, I'm so proud of you. You closed that deal today. I'm so proud of you that you hired those 2 new girls. I'm so proud of you for getting that $50,000 line or $100,000 line. Like, I mean, we don't ever give ourselves enough credit as women in business. So I totally feel that. Like, I wish I would have been a lot kinder and more supportive of my own self while I was going through it.
Right?
Yeah, because we're like our best cheerleaders once we figure that out. So I love this. I wanted to bring up this article, the Women of Influence winner, Miss Katherine Ramirez. So
thank you.
Tell us about that.
Yeah. So, this happened last year in 2021. So I was really, really honored. Somebody nominated me, and the whole theme of it was what you're talking about today, Charity, was resilience. It was people were nominating people that had some sort of resilience, and how did they affect the community and what did they do? And so one of the big things that I did locally in our community was really support the community by giving free workshops, right? Free workshops of, hey, if you are in a jam, if you are stuck, then, join my workshop. I'm going to teach you how to do this yourself. I'm going to teach you how to, stand out and grow your business by yourself, Awesome. And that was the whole premise of this. And it was an amazing award. And I was amongst, I think, 20 other women, and it was really great. Yeah.
Love that. That's what it's all about. That evolutionary entrepreneur, giving back, sharing knowledge, and helping others grow. And, there's no better way than, to boost everyone's pride about their business and polishing your brand. So I love that. I also see the Shark Tank audition. That's awesome. You know, Kevin Harrington is one of my favorites. How did that go?
That was fun. It was great. It was a great experience. I've actually gone through the process 3 times now, and yeah, and it was fun and I enjoyed it. And, you know, I think the big thing about auditions and putting yourself out there is you can't have fear. You can't doubt, you know. If you have a great idea, if you have a great model, if you have what you think is viable to other people, then put it out there. And you know, people want to hear it. They want to listen. And they did. Shark Tank did 3 times.
Yeah. That's so awesome. And such a great way to like hone into your investor pitch, elevator pitch, be certain about your business, who you help, what you do, like all those key things. It got you all dialed in, I'm sure, to like certainty. Like you feel super certain by the time you got on that stage. And that's key, you guys out there. If you're, you know, really dialing into your elevator pitch and your investor pitch, like if you kind of fumble at that point where you can't say who you are, what you do, what problem you solve, you know, who's your market, and, you know, then when someone asks you what you do, then you really need to work on that. And that may be a reason why you're not scaling to the full potential, because you don't have that clarity. And so resilience, clarity, planning, goals, you know, visual, you're just like a beacon of everything that I teach in my program. So I just love that you came here today and shared your story of success with my audience. And everyone, don't forget, visit advertise.com and check out her amazing plans for your business. Thank you so much, Kate, for being here.
Yeah.
Looking forward to next time. And I'll definitely be using your services.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much.